Okay, so here we are inside the fence overlooking the food plot I just sprayed over to the thinned area. And we thinned this spot the same and put a fence around it. What we started out with was 3 species. We had fern, red maple, chestnut oak. Now we have a lot of different species. Here is a tulip poplar. There's white pine, sweet birch, wild flowers, and the ubiquitous blackberries growing here. We have some planted stuff. I planted some sawtooth oak, which really doesn't do very well in this climate. That little guy's about 5 years old. I don't think he's going to amount to much. Sumac, staghorn sumac. Quaking aspen. Here's the stump sprout of a red maple. And we'll come back in later on and do something about these stump sprouts. They have a tendency to take over everything. As you can see, they're pretty tall. Okay, over here we have a sassafras. Let's see what else we can find. What's this? Choke cherry. Viburnum trilobum. These make big balls of fruit. Great for grouse cover. Form a thicket. Pretty nice. Look at this one. On the forest floor we have some oak trees that came up from acorns. There's a little chestnut oak. There's another oak that came up from an acorn. Aspen. More trilobum. There's 2 different kinds of aspens in here. These are quakies. And then there are also some big tooth aspen in here. There's some silky dogwood. There's a big tooth aspen right here. Came in from seed. There are some growing up that away about 300 yards. Oaks from acorns. There's a bunch of oak right here. Seed came off of this chestnut oak. I thinned this to about 20 to 30 feet of basal area, so it's pretty thin. It allows oak to come in. Black cherry. There's a pitch pine. Likes a lot of sunlight. There's an apple tree that I planted. It's doing all right. Another apple kind of got mushed by something. I think a bear probably was messing around looking for an apple and stomped it last fall. Here's what I've been looking for, is black cherry. There isn't a black cherry anywhere around here, but there's a bunch of them growing inside the fence because the birds bring them in. They eat the cherries and bring them in here, poop them out. So this is what we do to create, as you can see, we opened up the canopy quite a bit. And we've created a thicket here. Pretty soon we'll take this fence down and the deer will use this heavily. And then we can do cultural things, plant shrubs. Here, a doggone bear broke my apple tree. Darn thing. We can plant anything we want inside of a fence because the deer can't munch on it. We find that tree tubes really don't work very well. They have all kinds of problems. Bears, too hot, caliper too thin. Here's a silky dogwood, I believe. These are all good cover plants. I'll come in later and work on these red maple stump sprouts and get them cut down. They'll re-sprout and the deer can eat them once we take the fence down. You can use it for winter browse. But I think we need to get these oak trees, like this one, get them a little taller before we take the fence off. It takes a long time to get oak from seed. You hate to have the deer chew it up. Okay, well that gives you an idea. This is 17 acres. We're going to try to make a sanctuary zone out of it. Fix up the food plot next door to it so that the deer are coming into the food plot in the evening for hunting opportunity. Turkeys will nest in here. And there's more work to do. The neighboring property didn't want to come in and do anything about their red maple sprouts, and therefore they overshadowed all the oak, and now they have a really bad red maple stand. See, this really nice apple tree is being interfered with by that maple. That's got to go. So anyway, that's it. There's my seed trees. Anything with a real good crown on it, we keep. And this is what was happening to this stand. We had bad gypsy moth and drought for 3 years, and a lot of them just didn't make it, so we decided to regenerate this area. Alright, well that's it for now. More later.